This is a Merrick Studios podcast. On this week's show.
When I first got offered to do my first club night in New York City, they offered me $300.
Which is great because I was back in the day.
Back then, I would have did it for free. That's how excited and how in love. It was the music, bro. It wasn't the craft of me being a DJ. It was just the music. I was in love with the music.
And 3, 2, 1.
I'm DJ Enuff.
I'm DJ Camilo.
I'm DJ Kast One.
And I'm Len Boogs, a.k.a. L Boogs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everyone worldwide, this is the Heavy Hitter DJs podcast. What up, y'all? It's the Heavy Hitters invading the podcast world. I go by the name of Len Boogs. I got my brothers with me today. It's a simple hello. It's a simple introduction of who the biggest DJ conglomerate is and what do we do around the globe. I got my family with me, first off, and of course, you know what I mean, our fearless leader, our presidente, DJ Enuff.
Who that be? That be me. Heavy Hitters, baby. Let's do this.
Yes, sir. Sorry, and I also got my brother out of Queens, the international club king.
Baby.
You know what I mean? I DJ 9 days a week and I never sleep. You know what I mean? One of the best businessmen and one of the best people we have in our crew. The international club king, DJ Camilo.
In the hood, they call me Camilo. There we go. I like that intro, L Boogs.
Like that. They call him Camilito around the way, though. And now my brother from another mother, you know what I mean? We've been doing this for 20 plus. I always say this guy has the best ear when it comes to music. You know what I mean? The best ear. That's why he never put him down back in the day, because he used to tell him what songs was whack and all that. But my brother Kast One representing the Boogie Down Bronx. He is hip hop. The only thing he's missing is breakdancing, but he got the graph, he got the DJing and all that. Kast One out the Boogie Down Bronx.
I'm on my way to the breakdancing, bro. I'm practicing. You know what I'm saying?
Easy. Right, so
I love it.
Anybody wondering what the hell are we doing here? We're taking an opportunity, we're taking a chance here to introduce the world to what the heavy hitter is, the movement, the influence, the conglomerate, et cetera, et cetera. So
Yo, Brooks, it's our time, baby. It's our time.
Right.
It's our time. That's it.
And we are people who we've done the clubs, we've done the radios, we've done the TVs, we've done the productions, we've put out the records, and now is our time to say what's up to you, and along the way, introduce you to our family, which is the heavy hitters, and on top of that, show you why we are heavy hitters, why Kast One stands on his own, Enuff, Camilo, myself, etc. But Enuff, for anybody who's never even tuned into us, what the hell was the reason of this heavy hitter thing?
I mean, it's a long story. We got time?
No, give me the cliff notes, papi.
All right, here we go. I always felt like I wanted to have my own, DJ collective. Rest in peace, DJ Threat. It was his idea. He kind of was like, you know what? If you can't be accepted with this bunch of guys, maybe they're not rocking with you for whatever reason, why don't you create your own thing?
Right.
Now, at the time we're doing this, I started to look into the city. I looked at some of the biggest parties in the city, and I was like, yo, look at these parties, man. They're being controlled by my boys. And when I see my boys, I'm like, look at Boogs, look at Kast, Precise, Lobo, Camilo, myself. And I was just like, yo, that's the collective right there. Because when I was doing Jimmy's Bronx Cafe in the Bronx on Fridays and Saturdays, it was me, Threat, Precise, and Lobo, right?
Yeah.
Now, I met Camilo years before that when he was doing Casablanca in Queens. But then it was Boogs and Kast One who helped elevate me and the movement. And I'll give you a perfect example. So for many years, I was always thinking I was helping Boogs, I was helping Kast, and maybe I was, but in reality, you guys were helping me because the shift changed. When I grew up, with a pair of turntables and a microphone in 1980, whatever it was, Puerto Ricans ran the gamut. We were the only Latinos in the game. We were running the game. You guys were here, but you guys weren't getting notarized for any of that yet. So I almost felt like I was some of the blueprint behind that because I gave you Dominican brothers a shot on regular American terrestrial radio, where honestly it wasn't really it was unheard of at the time. Yeah, there was Latinos on the radio. You had your Martinez's, you had your Big Dennis's, but they weren't behind the turntables. They were behind the mic. And I thought that by putting a dope collective of DJs like yourselves, I think we were the future. And you guys actually were. Because, bro, I grew up listening to salsa, merengue, and that's it, right? And then you guys taught me bachata and all the other realms of what was being hot. And then dembow came, and then reggaeton came, and all that. You know what I mean? Like, Camilo was the one who would be like, yo, Enuff, I think I want to play some reggaeton on Hot 97. And I was like, yo, go for it. First record, tra, tra, tra. Right, don't you see now? So I'm bugging because I'm like, yo, this guy's crazy. He's taking a chance on regular terrestrial playing fucking reggaeton. But you know what? To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie, Camilo. I think that's what separated you from everybody at that time.
It was definitely
like
timing. It was definitely
a special light, Pop. You were a special light.
It was a good time. Yep. And you gave me the energy to say go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? After that, I was like, all right. And then after I played first 2 records, I was like, oh, I feel comfortable in this zone. Let's go.
Good.
Yeah.
And I bet you those phone lines lit up. I bet you they lit up.
Yeah, especially in 2005. Bordies and Dominicans and Colombians. What the fuck is this? What station I'm listening to?
Yeah.
27 was crazy. But
No, but to add to that real quick, it's true because I was at Hot 97 and I left to go do a reggaeton station, and these fucking artists, no matter who the fuck they were, straight out of PR, yo, but can you take us to see Camilo? I'm like, they don't even play your shit over there, bro. They're like, and it was mind blowing. And then obviously I used that shit to my advantage. I started going, bet. If you come to La Calle, I promise you I'll take you to Camilo for Sunday night, 7 p.m., right? And that's what it was when they gave you the show.
Lights out, baby.
Over there trying to battle you for the Spanish crown. I remember that.
100%.
But bro, every fucking artist that came to La Calle would always go, yo, you know Camilo? I'm like, yeah, that's my brother. Yo, is there any way? And I had to lie and package the deal. Like, bet you're going to go see Camilo because they would see you anyway.
You know what it was? The other thing, I don't want to go off topic, but the other thing is that everybody just wanted to go, these artists from Puerto Rico, they wanted to go to Hot 97.
Because that's all, you can't blame them, though, because that's what they knew when they came to hip-hop, urban, anything America.
Right.
But that's the way
Daddy Yankee when you ask him who his favorite artist is.
This is not new talk. This has been going on for years, right?
Right,
I'll give you a perfect example. I used to work for Black Entertainment Television, BET, right? BET. And I remember all my Black entertaining friends who were either artists, disc jockeys, producers, or whatever. In the very beginning, when they launched the television platform, it was like, oh my God, we have our own thing. Oh, amazing.
Right.
10, 15 years in, it's not amazing no more. Now they want to be like, that's cool, but I want to go on regular TV.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be put in the boxes. Okay, they're only on because they're Black. They're only on because of this. You know what I'm saying? They want to just... At the end of the day, everybody wants to be loved by the whole entire world. And that's
no matter what you pushing out, no matter what you selling. But then back to the original question, E, and then you start the movement, like you said, not only we get taught and you teach us, we teach you, et cetera, but like, I mean, I was there, proudly number 4. I'm just saying in case anybody want to know. But,
number 4.
So like, I never asked you questions like, yo, what was the... Like, because I knew one time we needed a mixtape person, we needed a club person, we needed a radio person. And then, honestly, I've never asked you a question, even when we throw the names at you, what goes through your mind, though? Like, when somebody goes, blah, 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 it should be a heavy hitter.
Sometimes it feels good and sometimes it hurts.
Okay.
All right, so initially it's like, because, a lot of weight goes on my shoulders.
Right.
Like, I got to make this decision. And then I have a general in the crew named Boogs, who's the biggest fucking hater in the world. If we say a name that he don't know, that he's not familiar with, he's like, yo, who the fuck is that? We don't want him down with us.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God, Boogs is going to fucking chew this guy apart. And because in the very beginning, that's what you should do. You used to almost like initiate all the heavy hitters just to see how
I give it a buck. I loved it and I hated it.
I know, me because too. It was weird.
He was protecting the crew. I'm like, why he should be down with us? Like, who the fuck is this guy? But at the same time, I also hated it because I'm like, damn, he don't know the story. Right. You give him too much of a hard time. You put him through boot camp too hard, bro.
Right. Because Boogs goes by the mantra of you have to be at a certain level to be down with the squad, right? But I mean, it's a hard mantra because not everybody's always at the same level, right? You got to kind of like some people come in and they're like at the top of the top. Some people come in, they're working their way up to the top, and you see the potential in them. So you be like, "Oh, wait, cool. Come into the collective, and we'll help you. How can we help you grow?" You know what I'm saying? But Boogs be like,
Nah, we good, fam.
Yo, real talk. I had learned something from Angie Martinez, right? My sister.
"What's that?"
She was always like, you know what? We have to kind of reconfigure, like when we have these interns or these kids help us with our careers, instead of always, making them help us and not navigate what they need, why don't we ask them, how can we help you? How can we get you to where you are trying to get to? And I thought that was so enlightening. I was like, wow, no one ever really took 2 seconds to be like, you know what? I'm here to help Angie Martinez. I'm here to help DJ Enuff. But then how does Angie Martinez and DJ Enuff help them? Right. That was always my mantra. It was always my mantra. Always.
And I admit, like, I've fallen back throughout the years because you're right, Camilo. Some of these people I have no idea who you are. I've never met you. And Kast One, years ago, he spoke up and said, yo, some of you guys don't do this anymore. And I do admit, but at the beginning, it was more for me of a sense of like, we got a mixtape guy, we got a club guy, we got a girl who did. So we didn't need 7 of the same things, right? And yes, you're right. You have to, like, if you mention a name like Efeezy, he went through shit to be down with us. You could never take that away from him. If you mention
Efeezy,
JCNY waited 15 plus years, like that's why I've always been so adamant about it and so into it, because I'm like,
Efeezy story real
you're
quick?
Just here because you hung out with this person.
First of all, tell them where Efeezy's from.
Huh? Efeezy's from Kentucky.
Originally.
I think originally from Kentucky. Met him outside the studios at 106 in Park on 57th Street. When we were taping at the CBS building, he said he wanted to be Happy to Slow Down. I never knew who he was.
Right.
I mean, I've heard of him because I've traveled to Kentucky for the Kentucky Derby, or I performed there with Biggie, whatever, that kind of stuff. Flex. So I wrote down on a piece of paper all the things that he needed to achieve for me to even think or consider him becoming a heavy hitter. Like 3-4 years later, he came back with the list. Everything scratched out. Like, I did that, I did that, I did that. And I'm like, damn, this guy.
Yo, in addition, he mails me, my daughter's born, right? He mails me a doll to my P.O. box. I don't know where he got the P.O. box. And I'm like, DJ Feezy, this, la, 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 congratulations. I want to be a heavy hitter. I'm like, the fuck? Yo, all those little things, like he put the work in, bro.
Right?
Like, you know what I'm saying? He put the work in, and it's like, so we bring.
I don't think nobody worked hard to get down with the crew. Than him.
Few, but Efeezy takes the.
Hey, wait a minute. I take offense to that.
Now hold on. The only thing that maybe you got him beat by is that you helped me carry my crates.
That's the only thing. Damn.
The only thing.
I got that. I'm writing. No, that you babysitted EJ. You drove the to some of the biggest parties when we had like trips upstate and that kind of shit.
My turn.
I got
fired because of DJ Enuff. You hear me? I lost my whole job because of DJ.
You guys all got fired.
We all got fired because of DJ Enuff, bro.
I remember Boogs and Haitian Pat got fired at the same time.
At the same time. And then the next day I go, Enuff. So I got fired. When do I start working for you? But that's why I bring that up, because some of the people now that come into the crew too, like, they got this shit easy, bro. They got it easy. In the sense of like the checklist of why you should be down, they have it easy. But I get it. Times change. Back in the day, it was
times change. Yo, listen, when we were coming up as DJs, it took forever. It was like we had to buy vinyl. We had to go to the record store. Becoming a DJ now, bro, is buy a laptop, download a couple of songs for free, and you're a DJ all of a sudden. We had to put that groundwork. Like, it was times have changed.
But, I mean, you know what though? I will shoot the younger generation some bail by saying that yes, it's easier to the access point to becoming a DJ is easier, but you have that much more competition, right? For every 5 or 6 people that we were competitive with, now you're looking at like 50, 100. You know what I'm saying? So it takes that much more work to stand out now as a younger up and coming DJ than it did back when it was coming up, right? Like,
I agree.
Back then you put in your work and it would pay off. Now, bro, it's like nonstop, right? They gotta really grind. Like you really gotta grind. The grind might not be the same, but it's a grind, bro.
Yeah. I gotta agree with that. There is a
and it's a
billion DJs
different
out
type
there.
of grind. It's exciting. I ain't
No,
gonna
and
some
like I
DJs
said,
are really, really innovative and dope and creative.
Right.
And then some you see
And then-
like they don't even know what they're doing.
No, 100%. And then back to let's go to like Kast One and I were college roommates. Kast One and I were in college, and then Enuff, I'm already working for Enuff, and then all of a sudden Enuff needed somebody to DJ. I'm like, yo, Kast One, bring your bag. Yo, bring your bag. Bring your bag, bring your record bag, because tonight is the night.
Would do it.
And Enuff, as a wonderful person that he is, you know what I mean? He's just like me. We could be assholes sometimes. He goes, yo, where your man there? I'm like, right, he ready. He goes, yo, he better not be whack, son. He better not be whack. And I was like, I swear to God, he's not whack. 3 records in, he goes, he not whack. I was like, I told you, Bobby. And history was made after that day. And I'll forever remember that was at Hofstra University that night.
Yep.
I remember it was at
Hofstra University party. Yep.
And then now, like, I got kudos to Kast. Kast One has a person who never wanted to do this with his life has made a life out of this shit. And it's incredible.
All right, that's the
Be
understatement.
honest, you did not want to be involved in any of this.
No.
I kind of got that same vibe too, Cass.
No, but listen, that was facts, but not facts, because I always was DJing and I love DJing, right? I just didn't see a way that DJing could be
a career.
Could provide. Like, I didn't see DJ as a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love DJing. I would DJ. It's kind of like when you grow up with all your friends and you play basketball with all your friends. All my friends used to DJ. We all used to just hang out and DJ all day, whatever. But it was never like, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to be like DJ. I'm going to be like Vet Alert. Or I'm going to be like DJ Enuff. I'm going to be like Kid Capri. It was never a thought in my head that was a thing, right?
Yes.
So,
your friends weren't good. You were good.
No. No, my friends were good. No, I'm not even going, my friends were good, bro. My friends were good, bro. We was official with it, right? But it was all like for fun. It was like for basketball, for fun, bro.
Okay.
So when Boogs, look, Enuff's like, okay. No, for real, bro. Like, me and Mark the Spot from LA, that was my best friend.
Mark, yeah.
Me and him used to DJ the whole time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be surprised, like, the collective that I had of DJs at that young age. I'm not going to go through all the names right now, but it was just for fun, something we did since we were like 13, 14 years old. So when I did get to school and Boogs and I ended up being roommates, I had, turntables in the room and it was for fun. But Boogs was doing it for real. He's like, I remember Boogs would be like, nah, bro, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go end up doing radio. I'm going to do this. That was his goal. Like, that was actually his goal. And I would be like,
right.
All right, man.
He's like, you go ahead.
I wanna backtrack though. Let's go back to Enuff real quick. Like, I wanna know, you first started DJing. Did you want to make it a career? Like, what was, like, you first started DJing?
Yo,
what was the goal? DJ, was there a goal?
Yo, no.
A hobby.
For
me, it was a hobby.
Look, bro, when I first got offered to do my first club night in New York City, they offered me $300. Okay,
which is great because that was
back then.
Back then, I would have did it for free.
Right.
That's how excited and how in love it was. The music, bro. It wasn't the craft of me being a DJ. It was just the music. I was in love with the music. And Cash better had been great. He was born across the street from where hip hop was born.
Damn.
He lived up the hill where hip hop was born.
Yeah, I love the hill window park, bro.
And you can see Sedgwick Avenue. Like, man,
you could like my building. My balcony faced Cedar Park, bro. Like, I just walk on my balcony.
That's crazy.
Yo, my man, Kast One's background. Yo, in the beginning, when I used to go to Kast One crib, I used to be afraid. I used to be like, yo, my man, Kast block is crazy. I think I had a brand new car. He was like, yo, don't let me bring the car on the block. Wait for me down the hill.
Like that. Just like that.
That's how it works, bro.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I'm gonna get stuck up on Kast block.
But but it wasn't like that at all, because then you started getting people like, yo, is that DJ Enuff? Yo, Enuff, what's up, my G? But anyway, so E, you would say Camilo asked, did you think you were gonna see a career out of it? So you still had a job, regular job. What was your goal at that point, like in your life goal? You were like, what did you want to do besides? You used to DJ for fun, but what did you do for work?
Man,
what did you want to do?
In my heart, I wanted to be a football player. And then after that, I thought I was going to be a chef.
Right.
Yeah, I heard
And
that.
I was like, damn, the chef thing actually could have popped off. I was on my way because I was in high school. I actually had a couple of internships at some very high-end restaurants. But you know what fucked me up?
Real quick. Just like let's let you guys know, Enuff be chefing. If you ever been to a DJ Enuff dinner where Enuff is cooking, bro,
I agree.
it's a serious situation. Tell your mom to sit down. Tell abuelita to sit down when Enuff is on the pots and pans. All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
when the white tea and the chancletas
I ain't gonna front. I'm a little nice. I could put my foot in there. I'm not gonna front.
Yo, DJ Enuff went to Colombia with me and did breakfast for the whole squad.
Yo, I'm telling you, he's official.
And I was like,
go ahead, Chef Enuff. Go ahead.
So anyway, I was chefing it up, and in high school I had an internship at this place called Cafe des Artistes, I believe, it was by Central Park West. Right, it was a French bistro restaurant, 4 or 5-star restaurant, big deal, but it didn't last long because I thought, growing up back in those days, I'm a kid from the Lower East Side. I grew up in the projects. I lived in tenement houses for many years. I've been through a lot of racial issues with my younger life. Every time I had to go through the internship, they kept making me go through the back. And I was like, making me go through the back.
Really?
But then, every time. But then stupid me didn't realize that everybody who works in a restaurant goes through the back. The only person that goes through the front is the chef, right? So I was like, oh, shit. So I didn't know that. But I thought it was a racial thing. So I took it amongst myself. I was like, man, fuck this. Fuck y'all. Fuck everybody. I ain't doing this.
Wow.
So I kind of played myself because I thought it was a racial thing, and it wasn't a racial thing because I was so entrenched of being hurt so many times from race. When you come on, you guys all know, man, when you're a brown kid growing up in the hood and there's white people around, sometimes they treat you right. Sometimes they treat you bad, man. And sometimes those are the things I wasn't willing to fucking, deal with no more or ever. You feel me?
So we got the crew going. We're moving forward with it. And then you're like, oh, shit, it's here, right? It's here. We're really doing this thing. So now, is your idea going in the same direction that you thought of it or that you and Threat spoke about? Or is it like now, like, fuck is we doing with 30 DJs now?
I think initially the first 10, 15 DJs, it was easy to control.
Right.
It was easy to have access to them. I mean, it was easy to get on the phone, be like, yo, meet me over here. Let's have a little meeting. Let's discuss it. Plus, we had Renee's office to kind of go and meet and, have our little meetings. And then we had the fucking park across the street at the station where we met a few times. There's always a place where we just meet and group. And,
back then it was mostly New York tri-state.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just,
it was easier.
It was
easier for us. So we was in the same building. Yeah.
That's all it was.
So, and then there's been times that, like, you've had to try to figure out what to do with this crew. Like, where the fuck we doing? What are we? Are we a marketing company? Are we really a management company? Are we a bunch of just talented people? And then throughout 20 plus years, has there been times that, like, you've looked at it and you go, the fuck are we doing? Like,
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Why don't you guys have a record label? Why don't you guys have a production squad? Why don't you guys have a yearly something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is it more of like, yo, because I always tell people it's more like, look, each of us individually, we stand on our own. Like, we have our own thing. It's just as a collective, Jesus Christ, you can't fuck with us. You know what I mean?
The hardest part to me out of this whole thing is the administration part, the admin part, getting on, emails and answering, all that shit is hard.
Right.
And it wasn't until, honestly, I met my wife that she came to help and she buttoned up a lot of the ideas that we had. My wife made the retreats better. My wife made the, just a lot of the activations that we did just better because she had follow through. What happens is we have a lot of us men have great ideas, but we have horrible execution and horrible follow.
We're not organized, bro. Just say it, man. We're mess.
All right.
It is what it is.
I'm just saying. So that's kind of what it was. And then to the point where, like, I'll get in an argument with my wife and she'd be like, I don't want to deal with your shit. I don't want to talk to none of your heavy hitters. I don't want to talk to none of your friends. I'm like, God damn. And I'll be like, yo, I better fix my shit because if not, she's going to dead me and dead the whole crew.
Right. And we'll be right back.
Welcome to Merrick Studios, where stories take the mic and culture comes alive.
We're not just a network, we're a family, bringing you smart, soulful, unfiltered conversations.
And this season, we're bringing the heat with our biggest lineup yet. Whatever you're into, music, sports, business, we got you covered.
Merrick Studios, where the conversation starts and keeps going.
Check out our full lineup, including Unglossy with Bun B, Jeffrey Sledge, and myself, Tom Frank. Now streaming at wearemerrickstudios.com.
Master the art of lyricism with Pendulum Mink, the first school for rap. Learn elite techniques through immersive lessons, real-world exercises, and guidance from hip-hop icons. This is where MCs sharpen their skills and glow boldly on the mic. Ready to level up? Visit pendulummink.com and start your journey today.
I'm Bun B. I'm a host and a co-owner at Merrick Studios, and we just took things to the next level. Merrick Studios Plus is live, so tap in at wearemerrickstudios.com, get 65% off, and don't just listen, be a part of the show.
And now, back to the show.
You know, and honestly, I felt like, as far as, you know, Boogs, you're talking about being organized as a crew, and you're talking about one aspect of it, but my favorite aspect of the crew that, I don't know if this was intentional by Enuff or by design, is the fact that you have all these different people with different access points to different things that you can reach out to at any given time, right? The resource is incredible. Where it's like, if everybody's on their own and doing their own thing, you're navigating your own life. You're doing everything for the first time, right? How great is it that you can be like, okay, boom, I need to find out how to put a record out. And you could call somebody like DJ Infamous, or you can call somebody like Felly Fell and be like, hey man, what's the process of doing this? And you don't have to learn by bumping your head, because now you have a whole group of resources of people that can show you how to do it. You can be like, yo, Camilo, how did you how was it that it worked for you to get into so many clubs? Or what kind of process can you look at what I'm doing, and what can you advise me that could do better, I can do better? You know what I'm saying? And that to me is the greatest thing ever, where I could be like, okay, boom, even something as simple as, yo, I'm going to Louisville, Kentucky tomorrow, not to DJ, not for anything, just to be there. And I can go, hey, Efeezy, what's a good place to eat out here? I know somebody in Kentucky. I know somebody California. I know somebody in Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Like, that resource is invaluable.
Even deeper than that, even deeper, like, most of us have relationships, right? Girlfriends, married, and a lot of DJs go through it, bro. And I've gotten the most popular phone call I've gotten from other DJs, especially from the crew. Yo, how do you do it? How do you balance nightlife with wifey?
Yeah.
Yo, she don't beef. Yo, she don't complain. Yo, she don't argue. Yo, but my girl, you know, she's mad, cause whatever. And I'm like, you know, I tell her my experience, and like, all DJs go through this.
Yeah.
No, we do.
Women drama,
Camilo,
wifey drama, girlfriend drama.
Yeah. You know what I stole from you years ago? I'm talking like 20 plus years ago. The fact that you didn't work on Wednesdays. I remember. See? You don't even know that. I noticed that. And I was like, yo, Camilo always takes Wednesdays, and he literally goes, you don't have to ask him. It's like, it's family Wednesdays, wifey Wednesdays. You know what I'm saying?
Turn it into wifey Wednesdays, Pop.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
Wifey
stole
Wednesday.
that from you. And I remember I was like, bro, Wednesdays I don't work. Wednesdays promoters don't call me. And I was like, something simple as that, Camilo made me sit my ass home on a Wednesday without you even knowing that. You know what I'm saying? And man, to tap into what you guys were saying, like, one of the best things, and I agree with Kast, is the resources you gain. Like, you don't only gain the prize, because it is a fucking prize to be a heavy hitter. You don't gain just the prize of a heavy hitter. But now you have a phone book, and like you said, man, anywhere you touching down, it doesn't have to be music related. You have somewhere to land, even if it's just information. And that shit's invaluable, dog, because there's some people that can't even get a song. There's some people, like you said, don't even know how to put a song out. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when it comes to the resource part, hell yeah. Like, look, right now, I could call Camilo if I want music, food, or if I want sneakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and besides that, it's more of like, there's a lot of aspects to this business that people don't know, right? That as a DJ, you wouldn't even know, because you're so focused on being hot, playing the hot song, getting your library right, getting into these clubs, whatever. But what about the other side of it? Like, what about life insurance? What about
Thank you.
What about savings? What about investing? What about setting up your own company? What about figuring out the way you're going to get paid? What about taxes? All of these things I learned from like Enuff, Camilo, who would be doing it before me, and they had to bump their head to figure out how to do it. Guess what? I didn't have to bump my head to figure out how to do it, because I had them. I'd be like, hey, yo, how'd you do this? Boom, I did this. I set this up, blah, 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 blah. Okay, go, do it. And you know what I'm saying? Like that right there is an invaluable thing when it comes to like having this sort of more than business ties where people look at heavy hitters and be like, oh, well, what do you guys do? Do you guys put out records or are you guys a management company? It's the resource, I think. And again, I don't know if this was by intention or this just happened to happen this way, but just the resources of everybody in the crew and being able to, you know, learn things and share things is just like, bro, that is priceless.
Yeah,
Like,
I tried to even do something even bigger at one point around the early 2000s, maybe 2003 or something like that. I remember I had talks with a bunch of in the building that Hot 97 was in at that time. It was inside the Carpenters Union building, right? And I would talk to the union reps in the building, and they always said, "Yo, won't you just join our union?" I said, "I'm not a carpenter. You don't need to be a carpenter to be part of the union." So I was like, I don't understand. But they were trying to teach me and educate me, like, for me to set up a union for the disc jockeys, because disc jockeys were a lot of disc jockeys I know were hot in the streets. They were rocking 7 days a week, but they had no insurance. They had no fucking health insurance. They had nothing. And I was trying to figure out a real way to turn heavy hitters into a real union.
I remember that.
It's like the whatever. And,
Retirement plan, all that.
That was the goal. That was the official goal. That was the goal.
No, but even Mama Enuff was who taught me to get an LLC. She taught me to go get your taxes right. She was like, don't you dare collect them checks in your name. You know what I'm saying? So like, sometimes those are invaluable resources that are right in front of your face. Or sometimes people don't even get those resources. And like I said, when you guys travel, you guys know very well, like you're going to land somewhere and somebody's going to pick up that phone call just because you're a heavy hitter. And I do say that between all of us, no matter how many times we keep growing, like Yvette would say, we are a fraternal family. You know what I'm saying? And yes, we do want to help each other out because what I love about us too, everybody's at a level of like, yeah, I need your help, but at the same time, I could navigate through this shit by myself. But it's very happy moment when you know you have over 100 people you could reach out to for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like anything. Like, and I'm pretty sure Camilo back in the days when you was just knocking all them damn mixtapes and you was in the street, like you were like, I'm doing this alone. But then you realize, because you've always had a squad. I've inherited all your friends. So I know your squad from back in the day. So like to you, Camilo, I will say that you taught me how you need to let people know where you're going to be at in advance. Don't let them know where you're going to be at on the first day. You got to let them know where you're going to be at for the next 30 days. Camilo, one thing, and I'll big you up always, is like Yuta, those faces are still around. You know what I'm saying? Of course, everybody, Big Lou, you know what I mean?
Yuta,
like, and like
these guys,
and I love that shit because individually, we all have that. Like, I know Enuff still has one or two. Kast still has one or two. I still have, and Camilo, you put me on to that outside of the crew and within the crew. Like, I will say, Camilo's like, you've always been a glue, bro. And I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Forever.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, another thing I want to add, the beauty of it too is like, let's say you're going to fucking Japan. You're DJ in Japan. You get booked in Japan. What the fuck is popping in Japan?
As Kast.
No, but I'm saying you get there, you have DJ lead, right?
Right.
And then he puts you on. Yeah, do this, do you. But this is good. This is God, you know, and it kind of like, it sets you up for success. Because when you go to Japan, they don't rock like we do in New York. You can't play the same way. It's a different strategy. You got to do homework, you know?
And it's a great thing you brought that up because that's a great example, right? A couple of weeks ago, I went out to Japan just to go watch this Bad Bunny show. I wasn't working. I wasn't DJing. I didn't tell anybody I was going. I didn't tell anybody I was coming. I went to Japan, bro. I put up a picture on Instagram in front of a Japanese vending machine. My Japanese brothers were on my line right away. Yo, you out here? What are you doing? What you doing? You're not working? You need a gig? Come through here. Do this. Blah, blah, blah. Yo, I'm good, bros. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And I still ended up working because of, you know, the people's out there and the connection. But still, that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. It could be a moment where I don't talk to whoever for however long. And I know if I'm like, all right, cool. I have something that maybe Efeezy can help. Maybe he might be able to help me with or give me some direction. I know that I can call Efeezy or I can text Efeezy and he's going to hit me back. And either he can help me or he won't. But at least I'll have that in where he can be like, okay, cool. I know how I can help you.
Right.
I can't do it, but I know somebody who can. Right. You know what I'm saying? And just that alone, it's huge. Right. Huge.
Yeah. It's
Even
it
culture,
ain't got a
bro. Even
price
culture.
tag, bro.
Culture's big too. You know what I'm saying? I remember
Right.
going to Japan for the very first time, and the guy was like, "Yeah, Clark Kent was just here." I was like, "Clark Kent? The DJ Clark Kent?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Take me to every sneaker store that you took Clark Kent to." Right? Because I knew Clark Kent had the ill
He
sneakers,
was the
right?
king. He was
Right.
the
And I was
king.
like, damn. And then I remember it was me, Kast, and Boogs, and I forgot who else.
No, it wasn't Boogs. It was Julio.
It was
It was
Julio.
It was
Julio.
Julio. It was Julio.
Julio.
No,
Right? Anyway,
it was Big
nothing.
Julio. Me, you, Big Julio.
Yeah, but I think it was Boogs or Kast. One of you guys taught me how to break down the boxes.
Oh, it
and
was
put them in
Kast.
the
Bring it in the
luggage.
That
bring
was
it in
me.
the plane.
That was Kast? Okay. Yeah, because we would go with one maleta luggage, y'all, and then we'd come back with 2 or 3.
Right.
It was crazy.
I'll
So you
admit,
break down the boxes
when you
so you
guys
could
took
keep
that
the
Yo,
trip,
we
I was
broke down the sneaker boxes so
To
that
flatten
way
them
they
out.
won't get crushed.
right.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
and then
Hold them and flatten them out.
yeah, we open them up, flatten them, and then we put the sneakers in the maleta.
I like to point out that Enuff brought me on that trip. That was my first time in Japan ever, right? He brought me out there, paid me for going out there, and I spent every last cent plus more on sneakers. So I came back in the red.
Yeah.
No, but what I
Yeah,
appreciate
that's
was,
what it was.
I gotta pay
Anybody
sneakers
out
out of
there
that.
that
I gotta
don't,
pay
for anybody
tips.
that don't know, back in the days, you could go to Japan and get the gems that you
Yeah.
couldn't get out here.
Mm-hmm.
For the
Facts.
sneakerheads. Nowadays, it's changed, but
Yeah, it's
back
changed.
then, you used to have like Clark. I remember he used to go and come back like 10K. Like I would hear about it.
Yeah.
10 suitcases back of just sneakers, like
Mhm.
shit you couldn't get over here. So
Yeah.
going to Japan was a gem for sneakers, bro.
Yeah. And then, but that's our reach though, and I love that. That's our reach. That's our reach, bro. Like when I tell people these days, I be like, bro, we got people in Bangkok. They like it still like fucks them up. Like they just because they really some people believe we're only in the 5 boroughs and like we only do clubs and shit. And I'd be like, Rolling Loud, bro, over there, that's a heavy hitter situation. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like
Rolling
even
Loud Thailand.
Yuta, who we
Shout out
don't
to
hear
Buddha
from
Ono.
too much, but Yuta's busy as fuck out there doing things that we don't even pay attention to. But it's like he's still spreading the
Yo,
fucking.
Buddha's from Jackson Heights, Queens.
Isn't that
bro.
crazy, bro?
He's from my area and moved out there and became bigger than.
Yo, I can't
A
wait
lot
to
of-
talk. I can't wait to talk to those guys. I need that whole story. I've never got the whole story of let's pick up our
It's a
shit
great
and leave.
story.
Yo, those
And
guys
it's
are rock
great-
stars, bro.
Coming soon on the Heavy Hitters podcast.
Yeah.
You heard?
Yo,
Yeah,
those
it's a
guys,
great
when I
story.
tell you they rock stars.
No,
Me and
for
my wife
real.
went to
Of
to
course.
Thailand. They picked us up from the airport in a cart, and the cart got our luggage. We went right through security with them,
Yeah.
and it was like,
Yo.
yo, the way the TSA over there is like, oh no, go through, blah, 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 blah. Like,
Yo,
Can I-
my
let me-
story, my
yo,
story,
crazy.
my story. Hold on. My story was like that's to add on to that. I never been to Thailand.
Mm.
We did Summer Jam Tokyo like I don't know 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I took the opportunity, say, okay, we're going to Tokyo. I'm taking my kids and wifey. We land over there. I planned the whole trip through Buddha to go to Thailand and Phuket, Phi Islands, all of that, because Buddha just set me he set me up like the god out there.
Can I?
Yo, go ahead.
No, I said, let me tell you a quick story about these guys, right? So I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna have them on the podcast, but since we're here right now, I gotta tell you a big, quick origin story. Shout out to my brother DJ Nookie from Japan, all right? Because what happened was, I remember I went to Thailand for my honeymoon, right? Hated it, worst experience ever. Like this was like Thailand was wild. I just couldn't deal with it. I didn't like it. So then the very next, I want to say maybe that was in December, maybe 3 months later, DJ Nookie hits me up because I was going to Japan with Nookie, and he goes, yo, do you want to go DJ in Thailand? And I'm like, absolutely not. I hate Thailand. I'm never going there, right? And he's like, no, trust me, you got to go. I got these guys that you got to meet out there. It's crazy. They're going to love it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, absolutely not. It took him about a month to convince me to do it. And I was like, all right, fine. Let's go for like 2 days. Boom. So we get to Thailand, and, you know, Buddha and Ono pick us up from the airport, and we meet them. They're cool. I was surprised because I didn't know you were from Queens. I was like, oh, y'all from Queens? All right, cool. We're driving into the city. Now think about this. The equivalent of Times Square. We get to like the Times Square of Bangkok, and these dudes on the Times Square billboards.
Heard you.
All over. And I'm like, this is different.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with the right people. I'm fucking with the right guys.
This is different, right? This is different, man. So those guys, you know, then they show me they had it so tied up. I was like, I came back and I was like, yo, bro,
We ain't
have
shit.
to.
We ain't
We
shit over
have
here.
we have to put these guys down. These guys are the epitome of heavy hitters. Then Enuff went down there and he rocked with them and he saw what it was. And, you know, long story short, we put them down. But we'll let them tell their side of the story when they get on. But,
I can't wait.
this is just the heavy hitter thing. This is how it kind of happens.
Right.
You know, kind of how people get put down.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like I use that to brag. I use that shit to brag when it comes to the heavy hitters. Like I brag the fuck out of that. Like, yeah, we in Dominican Republic. Yup, we in Colombia. Yup, we here, we there, we there, we there. Because I think that shit, like the fact that there's other people that have started 1 crew, 2 crew, 3 crew, and then there's crews that like try to, you know, be like us, and like we still fucking standing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And not only are we standing, like I'm
Boogs.
I'm an OG. I accept it. I'm OG because these new little motherfuckers call me sir, so I gotta accept it.
Wow.
They call you sir?
Okay,
No, bro, sir. I'm like,
Nah, they call me uncle all the time.
I'm gonna tell you, I think we're still standing for a couple of things. Just for the reason that I think we all have a lot of things in common. And why we put motherfuckers down is because we all have to have a couple of things in common. Number one, we gotta love DJing. That's number one. We have to be passionate. Number two, we have to have this brotherhood, and that's what I think kept us together so long. I mean, listen, I tell everybody, we're not fucking perfect. Some of us don't get along here and there. Some of us have differences. We've seen it, but don't brothers and sisters go through that bullshit?
Yeah.
Wait, time out. Call it out.
Call it out.
Not yet. It's gonna come out.
Yeah,
it's gonna come out.
Yeah, it's too early for that.
Easy. They gotta be here when it comes out.
We ain't perfect. Some of us talk shit about each other or whatever, but at the end of the day, we're a fucking brotherhood. And I think that's why we have lasted how many years? 25?
25 plus.
26 to be 26, right?
Yeah. In 99, it'll be 30 fucking years. I mean, sorry, in 29, it'll be 30 years.
Crazy.
And really, the baseline is just the baseline, bro. At the end of the day, is just being a good person, right? Everybody on the team is pretty much a good person. You know, when it comes down to when it boils down to the nitty gritty of it, it's hard for me to find a person and be like, you know what, that person is a bad guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or a bad lady. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that. And I think that plays a big part in it, you know?
But we also grow too individually, all of us.
No, and what also plays a big part.
I was thinking about retiring. I said, I'm not doing this shit no more. I was like, I'm going to hand it over to Camilo, right? And then some of the DJs in the crew were like, you can't hand it over to Camilo.
He's messy, bro.
They were mad nervous because Camilo was just such a go-getter. And it wasn't like Camilo wasn't a team player. He was just so busy.
Right.
So because he was so busy.
I didn't want his responsibility. Like,
but that's what it was. I think people were they were confused. Does Camilo really care about us? Or is he just too busy? And honestly, he was just too busy. That's all it was, bro. That's all it was.
But then, and yes, to Yvette's point, we are a brotherhood and we are a sisterhood. And I think that's what some crews, some groups, some whatever, they can't do that. They can't find, talent on both sides. And I think we've been able to do that. Because look at that. Not all of us are DJs. I'm not a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Laura Styles is not a DJ. You know what I'm saying? We here, and we even got people that represent us in the offices, in the corporate world. But we all have that heavy hitter thing. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Look, you always be a DJ.
So you know what? Maybe we've come around to what the point of this podcast is. Maybe that's that. Maybe that's showing everybody or giving everybody a piece of being a heavy hitter. Like, this is what you got to do in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, in life, not so much to be a crew, but just like, here's an example of how things could work. You know what I'm saying? Many examples of how things could work. And how you could apply this to your own
network, whatever it
is. To your own network, to your own thing, whether you're a DJ, you're trying to be a host, whether you're in school to be a doctor, whether you're, whatever it is, you can always find some gems that apply it to what it is that you're doing.
No, and it's not that. Like, Camilo taught us, like, you know what I'm saying? You can be a DJ and then some. You know what I'm saying? Enuff taught us, like, I could be a producer, then be a DJ, and then some. Kast One, I could be a graph kid who loves hip-hop. Let me be a DJ, but now I'm in an office doing DJ-related shit. You know what I mean? Like me, and again, like, there was a point I was getting booked like a DJ and nobody could believe that. Like, who the fuck is this guy? He doesn't even DJ and he's doing 3 gigs a night. And I told people, I was like, you know why, motherfucker? Because I'm a heavy hitter. You know what I'm saying? So I don't need to be a DJ because I got 30 DJs at my disposal. Whenever I make a phone call, they're there. Or even Camilo sometimes would be like, yo, Boogs, I worked too hard last night. I can't fucking talk. Are you busy
Oh my
tonight?
God.
And
Yo,
I'd be
he
like,
loses
let's
his voice
fucking
all the
go.
time.
How many times I used to lose my voice all the time?
All the
Finally,
time.
I learned how to scream, but there was time Boogs or Pretty Lou. Yo,
Mhm.
I'm fucked up. Y'all gotta get in this mic while I DJ.
Yeah.
You cool?
And
Are you free?
And I
That
used to
was the
tell
beauty
Camilo,
of
like,
it.
that's what happens when you're not talking from the esophagus, fam. You know what I mean? You gotta start talking from right here.
From your diaphragm, fam.
Facts.
Now it's rare I lose my voice, but
Right.
back in the day, oh my God.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like shit like that. I'm sorry, y'all. That shit is priceless. You can't find it anywhere. You cannot find that everywhere. I'm sorry. You can't find that everywhere, bro. Like
Yo,
a group of people who are doing their own thing and collectively know, like, yo, what you up to, B? Let's go get this money. And I love that shit, bro. Or even like not even money. It's like, let's go through this experience. You know what I'm saying? And like we have so much access and we're always willing to share it with each other. And I love that shit.
I want to take it further. Like I want to switch a little bit. It's 2026. And I love that there's so many young DJs that holler at me that want to get down.
Yeah. Have you
hold up. But I want to say one thing. I tell them all, if you haven't met Enuff, let's start right there. If you haven't met him, let's talk another day. Go meet him first. And that's the first thing I say. If you haven't met the boss, there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, don't talk to me.
But he's there. I don't know where he's at.
Find him, bro.
Do your homework. Find them. That's it.
One thing, bro. Together, they can accomplish anything.
I love that.
Right.
One thing that and that's the first time I'll admit it because some of y'all have sent this energy my way. When people go, yo, I spoke to Camilo. I ain't even know you was that fucking rude, bro. They told me that you don't like nobody. Or like people would be like, Boogs, yo, I known you for 10 years. I didn't know you was the guy. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't like nobody, bro. And like A Smooth, who I love. A Smooth is my brother. He's my kid. I love this kid. And he will forever tell you, he goes, when we had A-List Radio, they were like, yo, this is A Smooth. He'll tell you to this day. My answer to him was like, the fuck you doing here? What's your fucking purpose? And he said, I don't know if he was joking with me or not, but god damn, that shit changed my life. Because some people believe I got the logo, we popping. Nah, my man, now's when you start working. Now's when you start busting your ass. Because being a heavy hitter is like, congratulations, you've been working hard. Now go work harder because nobody really gives a fuck. You know what I mean?
Now you got to keep that fucking, that momentum, that brand, and rep that brand for really what it is. So now you can't.
And I love it.
DJ Smooth, one of the most incredible imagers on fucking radio.
And DJs.
In the country.
And DJing too.
And DJs.
Ever. And I always tell people, I'm like, that kid was my intern and now he's my vocal coach. Like this kid be sending me my shit back. He'd be like, yo, that shit was trash. Do it over.
Yeah.
And I love that shit.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good.
Really
Shout to A Smooth, man.
And like Camilo mentioned, that there's younger people that I was going to ask you, any of you, you can take this question. Has there ever been a moment that you looked around and you've ever said to yourself, yo, are we losing value? Do people not give a fuck about the heavy hitters anymore? Did we fall off? Because I've been through those moments and conversations with people.
Maybe about eight to 10 years ago, yeah. The crew was kind of like dying down a little bit. And then me and Camilo had a real heart-to-heart. He was like, yo, we got to get these young kids, man. These young kids are the ones who are going to take us to the future. These young kids are kind of navigating that up and coming. And if they don't respect who we are, if they don't know who we are, if they don't fuck with us, we're not going to keep.
Not only that, like these, 100%. And the younger wave, like, not for nothing, you know, times are changing quick. I learn a lot from them. I learn from a lot from them. I'm going to give you an example. Like Gordo King, you know, he's on that TikTok heavy.
Yo, that guy's crazy.
Gordo King's from Rhode Island. He's a heavy hitter, but he moved out to Miami now. He's on TikTok every day. So I'm like, yo, how do you do this? How do you do that? Yo, Camilo, you got to get on every day. Look at your following. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm trying to learn. I don't want to jump on a fly. Meanwhile, he's teaching me how to plug this shit up, the lighting. You got to talk to your audience, all these, what the fuck a coin mean? Like all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then you learn but more importantly, when I was telling Enuff, like, yo, we need these young guys, but we need the right guys. Right. They got to go through the boot camp. Because if they don't give a fuck about the crew and they're not going to rock like us, then we don't need them because
Right.
that's just space.
No, and
You know
then
what I'm saying?
like no matter what in life, like Enuff did it himself. You got to look to the young energy to keep it moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Regardless.
That's exactly what Enuff did back in the
That's
day.
exactly what Enuff did, and I stole that shit from him too. Like I've always made sure whoever hangs out with me is a little bit younger than me. You could teach me some shit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we'll get into that because we're just saying hello to the world today with this introduction, basically, and we're gonna bring all those people in, and we're gonna break down everybody's story. So you, like Kast said, man, like there's so much more behind this heavy hitter shit than just a bunch of very overly talented people. You know what I'm saying? But what I've always told people is, yo, look, this is something you guys want to be down with. This is something that you guys see. This is something that, and you know what's crazy? When they age you, when you're like 40 plus now, and someone goes, yo, man, since I was 8 years old, and you'll be like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's so dope because it shows you how many people have been paying attention, yo.
I actually like that. You know why I like that? Because I always see that as, yo, that was me telling, yo, bro, when I used to, you know, and it kind of brings me back to the love of why you started doing it, right?
Man.
When somebody comes and they tell you, yo, bro, I've been listening to you since I was 10 years old or whatever. You're like, yo, I'm actually like, yo, that's actually pretty dope, bro. Like, because you don't think and this took me up until now to realize it. When you're in it, you don't actually think about it like that. You don't think about the time. You don't think about what you're doing. You just do your thing and you move on to the next. You do your thing, you move on to the next. You don't think about who you're impacting or who's listening or who's learning from you or whatever. So then when you actually see that embodied, it's actually pretty cool because I still live in the moment where I see like an Enuff or I see like a Capri or whatever and or Grandmaster Flash. Every time I see Flash, I'm like, yo, Flash, bro. Oh my God, I used to, oh my God, I still have the video. I watch it on YouTube every other day. But then when you see somebody doing that to you, you're like, me? Nah, get out of here. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the reality. That's the reality. When you see these 21, 22-year-olds, they're young. Yeah. So they look at it. And yo, let me tell you something right now. That shit don't bother me at all.
I love it. I think it's so dope.
Like that shit, I'm like, you know, and some of them crack funny jokes, like, you know, be like, what's up, like, you know, what's up? Oh, you're old head. Okay, no doubt. But you wanna be me. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm cool with that. Like that, you know, I don't know, man. Just that shit never got to me like that.
Nah, because at the same time, bro, we all have our OGs. We all have somebody that back in the day at one time you was looking at like, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, we all went through that shit. Like,
and you know what always cool was also, Boogs, real quick, was also interesting about it is that whenever that happens, one of my favorite questions to ask is, all right, cool. So tell me what you think about it. Like, tell me what you think about, like, how do you see me? What do you think about that? And they're going to tell you some things that you never thought about yourself.
Right.
Right.
They're going to point out some things that are good and some things that are bad. And some things that you just never thought about. Like, oh, you know what? You're right. Now, and then at the same time, that's how you learn from, you know, the younger generation. How they see you, how they perceive you is probably what it really is.
Right. No. And then I know you did it with us, obviously, because we were younger than you, but like, once you saw that shit worked out, was that type of your angle? Like, I always got to let these motherfuckers keep me young.
No, not really. Honestly, that's not really my take on it. It was more like, I fuck with you guys individually as people.
Right.
You guys were good people, and I saw that. But just watching you guys do things, because even just the DJing aspect, I could break down things that are different from Kast and Camilo, right? When I grew up DJing, you learn how to get the intro of the record, you cut it up a little bit, you let the verse go, maybe the hook, maybe a bridge, and then you kind of like let the second verse go, and then, but the records were good and they were long enough, right? And that's how you played. But then in the club, I watched Camilo, and then he would do the total opposite. He played from the beginning, and then if it didn't work, he would be like, how about this? How about that? And he was reading the crowd, and he was like, okay, if that record didn't work, this one's going to work.
Right.
And I love that about Camilo. I thought that was very energetic and fascinating. The thing that blew my mind with Kast would start from the bridge or start from the hook. And I'd be like, yo, what's this guy doing? Like, he took it. And this is way before Serato, y'all. Way before Q Points. Way before whatever. So he literally on vinyl was going to like the bridge of a record and starting the record from the bridge. Yeah. And he'd be like, no one starts the fucking record like that.
Right.
But Kast used to.
And here's the other thing that fucked me up with Kast One. I always gotta say
The
it.
backward
I gotta-
shit, right?
boy.
The backward
Yo,
shit.
DJ Kast One back in the days, he started with vinyl, but this motherfucker used to DJ backwards, meaning this
No,
side
no,
of the record.
He still does, Pop.
He still does. Correct. He still does. He DJs. This side of the record is playing, but the fader's on that side,
Mm-hmm.
and that shit fucking fucks me up
And
to this day.
terms, it's called hamster style.
Yeah,
One
it's a
day-
thing.
One day, right, hamster. For anybody, the young boys don't know what hamster is nowadays, but the DJ culture knows. One day I got on after him, and he just got off. Pop. I got on. He didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. I got on. This shit was like this, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And I'm here stuck. Homeboy Kast One walks away, and I'm like, "Yo," and I'm
No
fucked
music
up.
coming out.
I'm fucked up, and I could not figure this shit out. And I'm on the fly, like, and then Kast One come back. He just fixed it in 2 seconds. I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yo, that happened to me on the radio a bunch of times live.
Yeah.
Left, front, you down. 5, 4, 3.
And Kast
Dude,
One,
I'm like-
you're gonna have to tell us. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell us how to fucking why you started DJing like that, because that shit to me is
Yeah,
fucking.
but wait,
I mean,
and the best part is a lot of people were victim because of that, because of Kast One. God rest his soul. Mr. C also went through that shit with Kast One too.
Oh yeah.
All
Mr.
the
C
time.
wanted to, Mr. C,
Because he was on the middays and Kast was on in the mornings, and then
But
shit.
guy, it's a real simple story. Like why, there's a lot. First of all, in my defense, there's a lot of DJs that DJ hamster style. It's not just me. I'm not the first one to do it.
No.
I'm not the last one to do it.
Who
not
thought
a
you were
lie.
putting it first,
It's still rare. It's rare. It's rare. It is rare. I give it to you. In our world, in the radio world, and it's rare. Like it's more like a battle style DJ thing. But
it's definitely a battle style. It's
yeah,
completely
but
a
it
battle
wasn't
style.
for me. It wasn't that for me. It's so simple for me because for me, I didn't know any DJs. When I first started DJing, I don't know personally. I didn't know any DJs. It was just me in my room, like, wow, how do they do that? And me trying to figure it out. And so what I had one turntable and one mixer, and I just plugged it up how I thought it went. But it was backwards. I didn't know it was backwards.
My man,
So I didn't know it was backwards.
Hertz house down the hill from your fucking house.
I didn't know it was backwards until I actually met another DJ, right? So like, for example, I'll give you, like, I started messing around with turntables and DJing when I was like 12, 13 years old. I didn't actually interact with other DJs until I was like 15,
With Marcus
16.
Scott?
So I'm 2-3 years in the game already, doing my thing. And I'm like, for example, I'll go into Mark's house, I'm at his house, and I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, yo, why is this backwards? I thought he was backwards. I'm like, yo, why is this backwards, bro? And they're like, no,
What the fuck
you're
you talking about?
backwards.
Yeah.
And then, that's how I realized. But by then it was too late. I was sorry, guys. I wasn't going to try again. I'm already programmed in my head to do it backwards. So that's what it's going to be for the rest of time. It's not going to
You're already
change.
3 years in and you're done.
Yeah, but when you walk into hold on. When you walk into certain spots and they got
DJ
a
talk.
fucking controller, right?
Or anything that doesn't have a switch.
Yeah, what the fuck you do?
I put the crossfader in the middle and DJ up and down.
Yeah,
So I'm like,
really?
House music style, right?
So that's what
yeah,
you're
up
doing?
and down.
That's what you're doing to this day.
To this day. Like if I walk into a spot, what?
You walk into Maraca right now, it's a
Yeah.
fucking controller. What do you DJ up and down?
Well, some of the controllers have the switch. Like you could assign on the controllers. But there have been mixers where I've walked in and you can't do it. Like for example, the Techniques mixer, they used to have that switch. So if I would walk in anywhere and they had that, I just had to go up and down or try to do it the regular way, but that would never work. That's kind of like how you doing backwards.
Yeah,
It messes
yeah,
with your head.
Yeah.
So I just go up and down with the faders. I cut up and down, up and down, up and down, back and forth, up and down.
And that's it. Wow.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like the
God bless
knobs.
you,
Remember we
bro.
used to walk in a club and had the knobs?
Club
Yeah.
Exit, when you used to walk the Club Exit, you had to deal with that back in the day. You had
Some
to
of the
DJ
clubs
with
had the knobs back in the day. Like I remember the first time I saw knobs, I was like, what is this?
Yo, I learned on that shit, bro. Like
Yeah.
at Casablanca, which is my house, my first little gig in Queens around the way, they only had a Yuri mixer, right? And that's all. And that's I was like, oh shit. And
All
the club,
knob,
that's how
yeah.
and all knob. And let me tell you something. To this day, because I learned off of that, I had to, was forced. It's the best fucking mixing blending that I can't compare it to any mixer, bro. It's
Yeah.
crazy. I used to go to the tunnel and watch Riz and flexing on them on that Yuri shit. I'm like,
Yeah, Clark Kent was nice on cutting up on the Yuri. Like he would take the knob and still cut.
Yeah, but you know, they were forced because that was what they had. And just like Kast One, you connected the wrong way, but you were forced to learn that when that was it. So
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because at some
Nowadays-
places they would just set up for house music and club music, so that's how they DJ.
Right.
So if you stepped in that room, because I remember going with Precise to these afties at 5 a.m. and he's playing house and he's just fucking that
Yup.
shit up, yo.
Yup.
Like I couldn't believe that because I was used to watching you guys and Precise is here like holy shit, man.
The knobs, yeah.
And I used to bother people with that. I'm like, son, if you can't DJ with knobs, I mean, I don't know, baby. I don't know.
Yeah.
I take it one step further, bro. Boogs, I'll be like, yeah, if you can't do the knobs and the rubber bands, I don't know if I could. I don't know, bro.
The rubber bands, bro.
If you can't do knobs and rubber bands, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yo, motherfuckers don't know about rubber
Not
bands.
at
No more.
all,
That's a
man.
thing of the past.
But-
That's extinct.
Look,
Like,
this is why we're here. This is why we're standing in front of these microphones and cameras, because to show people like, bro, it's not just the crew. There's so much behind it, and I hope that we could bring in this audience. You know what I mean? Like that's been waiting for this. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing this. What we're doing right now. So I just hope that these little tidbits, these little stories, and these little gems that we're sharing with people actually resonates. You know what I'm saying? The way it's supposed to. And like Camilo, you all Enuff, Kast, myself, and then along the way we're gonna bring in the heavy hitter crew, so you can see, yo. Like I promise you guys, like we're doing so much that you don't know about, and individually, these people, we all have our individual story of how we got here, how we've been doing, how we survived, how we fell off, how we came back, and I think it's an angle that no one's touching, especially dissecting this crew, which is the best motherfucking crew on the entire planet. I don't know about you.
Heavy hitter.
Hit the drop.
you like that, right? You like
And
that?
just for history fact, that drop right there is my man DJ Camilo's wife.
And I am an advocate of never changing the drop. I don't recognize none of these new drops. That's the only one I recognize, bro. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So look, we're here. We're going to come sit with you. We're going to come talk to you. We're going to welcome you to the heavy hitter land, the heavy hitter world. And at the same time, we hope you walk away with some gems and free jewelry. You know what I mean? That's what we're giving you. Free gems right here. Courtesy of the conglomerate that is the heavy hitters. You know what I mean? So Enuff, thank you. Camilo, thank you. Kast One.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you everybody for tapping in today to the heavy hitter podcast. Yo, Camilo, hit the drop, fam.
Heavy hitter. Sucker.
Yo, by the way, before we go, I like this drop too.
Heavy hitters, sucker.
I like that drop too.
You know who did that drop?
Dave East.
That's Dave East.
That's Dave East.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
You didn't know who that was, Kast? Stop playing.
No, I didn't know.
You're lying.
Why would I lie?
That was
Wow.
recorded. That was recorded the first day we did Shade 45 as a collective.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right. By the way, if you don't know, the Heavy Hitters got a show on Shade 45 every Monday, 7 o'clock Eastern time.
Yep. 7 Eastern, yep.
Yeah. And we got this damn podcast now. You heard?
Facts.
Go ahead and make sure you subscribe to the Heavy Hitter DJs podcast, rate the show, and share it with someone who cares about the roots of what moves us. I'm the crowd mover, El Boogs.
I'm the big Spanish guy, DJ Enuff.
I'm DJ Camilo.
And I'm DJ Kast One.
Heavy hitter. Sucker.